All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration.
Hello. It is the best time of the week, you guys. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
How far art thou?
Oh, we're so fancy tonight.
Well, we are fancy.
Yeah, just want to set the tone.
It's a given.
I want to get a little dramatic.
Oh,
Well. Welcome, everyone, to Three Cocktails In. This is your place for addicting conversations between friends. That's who we have here, Stacey, Amy, and myself. We are several episodes in now to this podcast, and we're loving it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. We're exploring lots of different topics. Thank you to all of our listeners. Thank you for the messages. You guys continue to hang on with us. We're just going to keep getting better and better as we go along. We are deep into the holiday season right now as well. So we hope that some of these topics that we talk about are, well, we know that they are relevant to a broad audience, and we certainly hope that they are helpful to everyone as we all navigate anything that we might be going through in our lives. So, we've shared recipes, we've shared tips for being stress-free around the holidays. And so we are always open to ideas. Send us your ideas.
And on that note, I'd like to hijack tonight's conversation if I could.
Well, I haven't even teed up what we're going to talk about yet tonight, and you're hijacking.
Okay, tee it up. Okay. Let's see if we align.
Okay. It is that time of year where we start to look toward maybe not start, maybe a lot of people have been looking at the new year coming and thinking about, how's my life going to look this year? What sort of plans do I want to put into action? We all know the stress that New Year's resolutions can bring, right? A lot of people shy away. They're like, nope, I don't want to have anything to do with that. It's way too much pressure. So we thought we'd talk about that a little bit tonight. Where are you taking us, Amy?
Well, this did kind of start from the idea of looking forward. I will say I've never been super huge on New Year's resolutions. Mm-hmm. I think that it's a lot of pressure on just a couple ideas and to look that far ahead. And yet I find myself looking far ahead and feeling a lot of pressure. And to be real honest, I'm feeling kind of blue.
Oh.
And I don't know whether it's Groundhog Day. I don't know whether I've been flashed back to high school. I don't know what it is, but I've been dumped. And it is not, and there's a very small chance that he is listening. So he might quibble with some of the terminology that I'm using, but I got broken up with. And
okay.
Damn sake, it feels just as shitty as it did when I was back in high school.
Yeah.
I did not think I was going to be here again.
Okay, so obviously, I mean, you're, one of our best friends. So the being dumped, using your words, this is not new information for Stacey or myself. We were aware, but we didn't know you were going to want to talk about this on the podcast tonight. So, girl, we're going to let you take the lead here. And as always, so let me just say, again, this is why it is so important to have the girlfriend network, right? Or just the friend network. This is just as important for guys to have that trusted place where you can go and you can say, you know what, you guys, I'm feeling blue.
Yeah, it's true.
And sometimes you just need somebody to listen. And sometimes you want conversation and feedback around it. So Amy,
Yes.
we're going to let you take the lead on this. What do you need from us?
Okay.
Yeah. Do you need us to, just listen? Or do you need us to start, saying how terrible he is and what a dumbass he is? Is that what you need from us?
Because we can do that if
We could
you
do
want
either
us to
thing.
do that.
I
Yeah.
know. I assumed that already you guys felt that way because you are my friends, so you would be taking me. So that's a given. Whether you felt it like that or not, I just assumed that you were on my side.
Of course.
The you know, I'll you could probably give advice, offer suggestions. It may come up organically. It's really, I'm pretty, I have a lot of things about this. I have a lot of feelings about this, but I'm pretty damn sure that I'm not alone in this, especially so close to holidays, holiday parties, New
Mhm.
Year's parties, holiday, who's coming over, where are you going, buying gifts.
Mhm.
Who's going to buy me gifts? Let me say, nobody feel bad that you have to buy me a gift because I've bought a lot of gifts for myself in the last couple weeks. Just
Good
saying,
for
I'm
you.
getting everything I want. But I can't believe I'm back here again. I I I'd like to qualify this and say I love my life. I really love what I'm doing. I love where I live. I'm glad I made the changes I did. But I basically spent almost the last year um, committed in my heart and in my head and thinking that we were on the same page and that what 2024 was going to bring was going to be fun and exciting. And there was a path. And I knew things were tense because there's circumstances, distance for one, work for another. Um, but I thought that those were hurdles, not brick walls. And I
Mhm.
th-
Mm.
and when the conversation, which remember in Sex and the City when Berger broke up with Carrie and broke up with her on a post-it note, I got broke up with via text. It wasn't a live phone call.
Mm.
And I think as pissed off as I was about that, there is something a little nice about it in that I could process without, I could activate the filter
Yep.
when really if it would have been a conversation, I probably would have gone off.
Mhm.
Um, but I, I heard something on Instagram talking about how people who have a great relationship have 3 plus 1 things. And you can have a good relationship with 1.5 to 2 of them. But I'm going to see if I can remember what the 3 are. The first is an intellectual match where you're both into this curiosity, this you teach and learn, this willingness to share what you know and also to be the receptor and acknowledging, you're both kind of on par. The second was physical beyond sexual chemistry. This person was saying that there's he likened it to creativity where you're both in the same headspace where you know you're on the same page that way.
Yeah.
The third was gosh, I don't know why I can't remember what the third is, but it made sense. But the plus one. So I thought we were good on all 3. I really thought we were good. I thought this was it, the
Yep.
great relationship. But the plus is and the right circumstances.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm.
And damn, if that's not, I mean, at least in my mind, I don't know. I've never had another conversation. Maybe he just doesn't like me anymore. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe I'm too high maintenance. I don't know. I don't know that I get closure on this. Do
Yeah.
I need closure on it? Do I need to have another conversation that says, why not me?
Mhm.
or am I better off just assuming it's because of circumstances?
Mhm.
Yeah.
How long has it been since communication?
Stacey, when was I in Iowa? Like not quite a month,
Well, it hasn't been
maybe
a month. It's only been a couple.
3 weeks.
It was before Thanksgiving, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the week before Thanksgiving.
yeah. So
Yeah,
probably
that's just a
three and a
couple
half
weeks.
weeks,
Yeah.
and I I feel like I want to reach out, but I don't really know what good it would do. I
That's
mean,
so
if
yeah, what do you want to get out of it? So are you looking for more clarity on
On
why?
why?
What
well, in all the texts that I've received, he's been very clear that it mostly has to do with circumstances.
Mhm.
So the other thought is, I know how I would react if well, hell, I asked for the divorce. So maybe this is karma. I don't know. If I broke up with somebody and they came to me and said why, in my mind, there's no point in telling them really the hard truth. You did
Mhm.
this and it really pissed me off because what good? Because we're not getting back together. So do I need to be mean? I don't need to be mean. I don't think this person is a mean person. I don't think he would do that. But I just it's just kind of it just sucks. It
It's
sucks.
just
I
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
just going to hurt. What you
It
said
hurts.
earlier is that you feel the same way you felt in high school. These things don't just because we're older and more mature, I'm using the air quotes, doesn't mean that these things aren't still going to feel as hurtful and painful in our hearts. You're still a human being.
Yeah. And I would
So,
like to apologize to my 3 girls who may have suffered heartache in high school and I poo-pooed it. But I
yeah.
think I don't think I poo-pooed it. I mean, I could tell that they were heartbroken. But,
Mhm,
on the same hand, it doesn't hurt less when you're old. It certainly
mhm.
shouldn't hurt less because you're young.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you think you have somebody that has been in your corner and
Mhm,
from everything that was said has been on the same page and been
mhm.
moving forward and then all out of the blue, yeah, no, I can't. Um, it's hard. I mean,
Yeah. It's a
oh, you guys,
blow.
I've told you the horror stories of online dating. That's its own episode. We got to put that off on its own episode because I've only dabbled.
Well, maybe we do want to insert it here because it could bring some levity to the
Right?
conversation.
I know.
Let me just say to any of you women who are looking to online date and any of you men who are contemplating it, men, I don't care if you don't have a single friend. You need to stop somebody on the street and ask them to take a picture of you. No more looking into your camera like which button am I supposed to touch? This should not be your picture. And for God's sake, to the man who put his profile picture in the blue gown in the hospital bed with an IV hooked up to himself, just no. No.
No.
That's never okay.
No.
Unless there's some sort of website that's nurse wanted,
Mm.
that's not okay.
He was just in the wrong
So
spot.
I don't think I signed up for I'm a nurse, I want to help you.
He was feeling
Or
some
I want to
urgency
be your
around
mom.
he was feeling urgency around finding a partner at that moment. He's like, I may not have many days
Yeah.
left.
Partner slash caretaker. Now, I could Anna Nicole Smith it, but at my age, that person would have to be 85 or 90 where I would look hot. I do think that you got to shoot like 30
Jeez.
years older than you actually are so that you do look like, a treat, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah.
what I have discovered about this is, as much as I love my friends, and I love you two dearly, and I love my other friends out there, and I have a blast going out and doing things with them, I want to be with somebody. I want my own person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I want to be married. I don't need that. But I want the companionship. I want somebody to say, "Damn, you look good today."
Mm-hmm.
Or how that did that sale go through? Or you look tired. Sit down. Don't worry about that. I want
Yeah.
that. I want somebody to say, to plan the evening. I
Mm-hmm.
got you. I'm going to pick you up at 7. We're going to go do XYZ. And
Yeah.
as I look towards the next year, I feel like I backpedaled. I don't want to say the last year was a waste of my time, because I enjoyed it and I had fun and I obviously felt a connection there. But as my one friend once told me, I'm not getting any younger.
Oh.
You know who you are.
It
You
wasn't
know which
me.
one of you said that.
That sounds like Stacey.
Probably. I don't remember it, but sure. I might
Yeah,
have.
that
Jeez.
was Stacey.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, absolutely. I mean, everybody deserves that.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
you will find that. And so there are a few things coming together here. Having a breakup like that during the holiday season just adds something. Just adds
Yeah.
adds an exclamation point on the end of it. So that's
I
hard.
I I really feel like I am almost skipping this whole last year. Today I had a CT scan and an appointment with my doctor that did the surgery a year ago to remove this mass on my chest. That was almost a year ago. And the scan was clear. Everything's good. I get to go back in 6 months, and
Yay.
yep, that's awesome. But I'm going to have another surgery coming up, yeah, right after the first of the year. And granted, this isn't as major as that. It's a little thyroid thing. And I got confirmation today that the doctor is excellent, that the surgeon is excellent, that's going to be doing that. But I'm back to the same place where I have to make arrangements for people to drive me. There will not be people here who say, you need to go to bed. Don't. And it's between that and setting goals, and I look at my vision board from last year and the stuff that didn't happen. It's like, this sucks.
But
I don't
look
want to
at
be
the
the
thing.
Grinch, and I don't want to be Ebenezer Scrooge, but I'm feeling both right now.
Okay, but look at the things that did happen this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. You made a ton of changes for the better, if you scratch that one off, right?
There's one of the three of us here that is kicking ass selling houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do feel like that is really coming together, and I'm energized going to work. I will say that now. And that is great to actually be excited to go to work. I have worked, I usually have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. And the last 3 weeks, I've gone in every single day on my days off, and I've sold a house. Every Wednesday for the last 3 weeks, my day off, I'm selling a house, which is awesome. I feel very confident in my skills there. I feel like the work that I put in, reaching out, making connections with realtors, is paying off. I have had multiple texts and emails from realtors that I've never met that know all about my neighborhood because of stuff I've been sending them, and now they're coming to me asking questions. So I feel super good about that.
Yeah.
But it's just this last part. And I mean, holidays are going to be hard. bless her heart, Madeline and Alex, they have a wedding coming up in February. They're not coming for Christmas. And please, I don't want anybody to think that I begrudge them that. I
No,
I
no, we
can't
know
wait for the
that.
wedding, and
Yeah.
I'm super
Yeah.
excited. At the same time, I thought I was going to have somebody go with me to the wedding. I'm going to be there, and I don't have somebody with me to share these major life events.
We're going to be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know you are. I know you are. And it's probably going to be better that I don't have a guest, because the Broad Squad we do rally.
We do.
Yes.
And if anybody out there is having a major life event in the Minneapolis area and they would like some people to come be their hype women, you can reach out to us, send us a DM, because we'll come, we'll dress
Yep.
up, we will dance, we'll get people on the dance floor. We know
Mhm.
how to mingle. We
Yep.
can be your people. If you need more people, women, we're it.
Yeah. We are, I love the concept of having a wing woman or more than one.
Yeah.
This idea came to me. I mean, that phrase is not new, but I started using it at work when I would need to go to a networking event. And if I didn't have a coworker who was going to be going with me, I would reach out to another female in my corporate network, and say, "Hey, going to this networking event. Would you like to come? I'm looking for a wing woman." And they'd be like, "Oh my God, I love that. Yes, absolutely." And then you've got somebody to go with. It just makes everything better. Of course, you can go by yourself but it's a little awkward, and two is always better than one.
Yeah.
But so here's the thing that's coming to my mind right now, Amy. You need to let yourself be blue, because that's a real emotion and you can't mask it, and you have to be blue. You're mourning the relationship. But surround yourself with things that you love, people that you love, things that you like to do. And it's not, like sometimes people will say, "Oh, I need retail therapy." And you're actually, I'm just going to go buy myself a whole bunch of stuff to make me feel better, when in fact it doesn't make you feel better. Or I'm going to drink a whole bottle of wine because that's going to make me feel better. And it's not going to make you feel better. In fact, you're going to feel worse.
Yeah.
But it's okay to let yourself be sad. And you've got wonderful friends. So practice a lot of self-care and lean on us. And that's the advice that I would give to anybody who might be going through this same situation. If you're blue because you're alone, don't let yourself be alone. I mean, it's okay to have those quiet moments alone, but get out there, go do things. It's holiday season. Go enjoy the holiday season and find joy in some of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I have RSVP'd to some stuff. It'll be fine. There's my favorite word. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. But there's certain things.
Go, because maybe it'll end up better. Maybe it'll be better than you think if you go to these things and events and parties and whatever.
Yeah. I have been keeping busy. Not that I want to try and dismiss it or put it on the back burner, but this is part of my upbringing. I had a broken hand for a week with my dad telling me to stop being such a girl and put some ice on it. And when the swelling finally didn't go down, it turned out it was broken. They had to pull my finger out, hold it in place, and then cast it. So I grew up with a family that you're fine, just move on. We're not going to talk about this, just stay busy. In my mind, feeling blue is wallowing. And wallowing doesn't do you any good. Therefore, feeling blue doesn't do you any good. So the only way to not wallow is to fill your time with other things, which to a certain degree you can do, but at the end of the night, without some sort of good human connection, you're still going home alone and feeling blue. And besides that,
Yeah.
crashing somebody else's Christmas Eve or New Year's or singletons at our age, I know that people say, no, you're always welcome. You do feel odd. I feel odd.
Yeah. A little
It is a
awkward.
little awkward because even with you guys, Kitty, I've known you longer than your husband has. And I often joke that poor Bill has to run all sorts of plans by me because I'm the long-standing third leg of this little stool relationship going on here.
Yeah.
But my worry then is, so you're being super kind to me and you invite me to go do something, then that makes him feel like the odd man out. So that's part of this whole thing. And there's probably not an answer to that, but I do feel like that needs to be said.
Okay.
So for other listeners, when you are part of a couple and you invite your very good friend who you genuinely want to come over and you want them along, and they say no, that might be why. It just changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I know that it wouldn't be the case with you guys. That. But if you're in a large group and the singleton's coming, somebody's going to ask, how come they're alone? So there's a separate conversation that it would have gone on somewhere along the line. Again, why do we care what other people think?
That's what I was just going to say. And
so what?
Why? Yes, I don't care. And no, I know it's easier said than done. You just say, Amy, just don't care. But I do think that it is when I have moments of, something has happened and I have this internal dialogue that basically says, I don't give a shit what that person's thinking right now. When like 10 years ago, I probably would have. We've discussed this. There's a tremendous amount of freedom in that. Right? And confidence and freedom in that. And so maybe in some of these moments, say those words to yourself. I don't care. You do it all the time, Amy. When you made your move downtown and you're going out to you're going out to Red Cow or wherever you're going and you're sitting at the bar, you're like, damn, I'm doing this. I don't care what those 20-something-year-old girls are sitting across the bar thinking about me right now.
No, especially the 20-something-year-old girls. I feel like I need to be a good role model for them.
Yes.
I feel like for them, I need them to see that, hey, ladies, you can go by yourself. Yeah. This is not a big deal. And just because you're old does not mean you're dead. And I get that. And I am trying it, to not care so much. I remember telling the girls when they were started going to parties and stuff in high school, and you're trying to have the talk about, drinking and blah, blah, blah. I remember saying to them, it's a lot easier to tell people you don't like or don't really care about no than it is to tell your good friends. It's really hard to tell your good friends no. And I kind of feel like there's a little bit of some truth to that right now. It's easy for me to say, no, I'm not going to that party because I just don't want to have that conversation. People there know about this person and are going to ask about him. And I don't want to say, yeah, that's a done deal because I just don't want to go into it. It's a little bit harder to those close-knit people who will ask, and not because they're nosy, but they're concerned and they want to make sure I'm doing well and want me to be happy. I don't want to have that so I don't want to have that conversation. So I'm putting it on a podcast so everybody can know my business and not ask me face to face.
And ask you. Yeah, here's what may happen. You may get 1,000 invitations to stuff. You may get 1,000 guys say, "Hey."
Yep.
Could you just tell me
Never
like
know.
1 or 2 won't be in a hospital bed or showing or their
Right?
profile picture won't be
Yeah.
this and the fish?
Yeah. Holding a fish.
Holding a fish.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was good advice, I think, for you and everyone. I honestly got nothing. I'm probably the one that would have said, you kind of brought it up for young people or, our kids or whatever. I would be the one that says, "Oh, you'll get over it. You'll, even to the extent you'll find someone else." You know what I mean? Which absolutely not helpful, which I understand that, but you will. You will someday. Just might take longer than you think.
Yeah.
it's the old phrase, when a door closes, a window opens. How do you
Am I
know, Amy? How,
am
what
I
is that right?
am I limber enough to get through a window?
Hell
And is
yes.
there a ladder? Not a rope? I can't do a rope ladder. I need a real ladder. Am I on a ground level?
Instead of looking at this as a loss, change the way you're looking at it as there is something else that's out there that now you can find. And it doesn't disparage that relationship. And you can look at that relationship and think about the fun things that you guys did over the past year. But for whatever reason, it's done.
Yeah.
And so now think about there's somebody out there now that you're going to find that you wouldn't have found before.
Yeah. Boy, that sounds like a great New Year's resolution, doesn't it? Anybody else want to get on board with that? Okay, again, if you only listen to this podcast, I strongly encourage you to go to YouTube just so you can see the facial reactions on both Kitty and Stacey when I threw that out there.
Yeah.
Shock,
Yeah.
horror, and no thank you.
Well, the problem with, and this is something that we would have touched on today before the derailing and hijacking, which is fine because this is a very good conversation, and I'm glad that you wanted to talk about it here, Amy.
Yes. One
Yeah.
one thing, and we've talked about this a lot. We are courageous. We are brave. And as should, and we strive to be, as should everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that the holidays are hard for a lot of people, and especially with all that's going on in the world right now. And part of me says this is just, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that this was just a loss of a relationship and not the loss of a person or a
Mhm.
home
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
my livelihood.
Yep.
So I'm not going to call this a first world problem because it doesn't matter what world you're living in. Heartbreak is heartbreak.
Mhm.
And I don't want to belittle anybody else, but this just, I know that I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I know that there are other people that, whether it's marriage, divorce,
Mhm.
this is men and women.
Yeah.
I got to assume men feel this shitty too.
I would think so.
Mhm.
God,
Yeah.
I hope so. No
So,
offense.
to any of our male listeners and viewers, what do you think? Drop some comments here. And
I want
to
to know
anyone
how other
listening,
people handle it.
right? What kind of advice do you have for these situations?
And I mean, maybe you don't want to put it out there in our Facebook group or leave a comment about a heartbreak of your own. Send us a DM. Send me a DM. Send us a message. There's
Yeah.
ways to do that. I mean, with
Mhm.
other people, talking does help. Because you're
Yep.
right, that bottle of wine, not a good idea.
No. No.
Yeah. Well, thank you both. Thank you for letting me verbally vomit onto our podcast.
You're welcome.
Hope it didn't
What do you
bring
do?
everybody down.
What do you do on Christmas Eve? Because we have room here at the Heart Give House.
And that's the other thing. I don't know what I'm doing. Ava is coming after the holidays, which is great. So I do have designated time with her. I am feeling a little bit like we're putting a hell of a lot of pressure on the daughter that's here locally. I mean, I don't want her to feel, and she is my most empathetic
Yeah.
daughter. Not that
Yeah.
the other two aren't, but she really is. And I don't, if you're listening, honey, which I don't think she is, because I don't think my girls listen, because I guess mom's awkward.
Oh my.
This is not gonna help my case at all. By the way, let me just
Yeah.
state
Yeah, if
this
they
might be what they're afraid of.
happen to tune into this one, that'll
But
turn them off.
yeah. Oh God, mom, I can't believe you did that. Well, they gotta know that happens. I do worry that she feels this pressure to take care of both mom and dad.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm trying to be very I said at one of our last holiday things. I am so thankful that my children have other families in their lives who love them and appreciate them and want them on the holidays as well. That's a
Yeah.
bonus. That's a plus. That's not a negative.
Yeah. I am
I
glad that
might be by myself Christmas Eve.
yeah. Well, okay, so a couple things. See, I'm writing things down here because otherwise I'll forget. Um, other families. Okay, I wanna say something about that. And then on the being invited as a singleton, I hear what you're saying on that. Um,
I hear a butt coming.
Yeah, but
yeah, but I'm gonna butt the butt actually too because I can't discount your feelings. If that's how you feel, I'm not going to say, "Oh, Amy, you shouldn't feel that way." I mean, that's what I want to say because I can tell you that if we're doing something, Bill and I, and we invite you, we want you to come and do something with us. And Bill never feels like, "Oh, here she comes again." Never,
Oh, well,
never,
maybe he
ever,
does.
ever. So when you
Oh, I
say
got to work
that, I'm
harder at
like,
that.
that's not how we feel.
yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. But, and, when you were going through your divorce, and you were talking about how, you wanted to move downtown because you didn't want to be in the suburbs where it's just all couples because you didn't feel like you would be, you didn't, you didn't want to be around families or couples. And that was another thing that I was like, I don't understand that. Again, I'm not going to say you shouldn't feel that way. You feel the way you feel. But I just felt like so you have the audacity, Amy, to
Whoa.
move 30
You got
minutes
a
away
throwdown.
to move 30 minutes
Right.
away, which is the furthest you and I have ever lived from each other since college.
Yep.
Simply because you don't want to be around families and couples.
I think that was I probably could have I know now I can qualify that because it's not that I don't like kids. It just so happens to be that in Chaska, the majority of the restaurants in Chaska are restaurants where people bring families.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So going there, and especially families that I know, I lived there for a lot of years. There were a lot of people that I knew. I didn't think that I could be comfortable going out to eat by myself, sitting at the bar when the rest of the restaurant is families and kids, and then having those families know me and going, oh, that's Amy. Wonder where Kevin is. Did you know they got a divorce? Did you know anything about that? That's that inner monologue.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I opted for the easier route where I knew I could be somewhere where I could blend in. And really down here, really nobody cares. And it's not that I don't like kids. I want people to know that.
Oh no, I never interpreted it that way.
Kids.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I know.
No.
And I just didn't want people that I knew looking at me and trying to figure shit out because
Yeah.
no. So going somewhere now and being around a bunch of couples doesn't bother me
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the restaurants I go to that I like to go to, they're couples, they're date night restaurants. And I'm not on a date, but they don't know me and I don't know them. So I don't care what they say. Again, this comes back to people that I don't know, I don't care about. People I do know, I do care.
Right.
Probably 50% of the time. I'm working on getting that a little bit, swinging that pendulum a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I will say I wasted a lot of vacation days last year. I got stood up for a couple of 5-day vacation time that I had. So I'm trying to think, okay, I'm not going to do that this coming year. When I can stretch a 5-day, I'm going to use it.
Yep.
I'm trying to make the best of it.
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess.
guess.
All right. We need to shift the thinking on this, Amy, and take a position of strength and positivity and confidence.
Yep. Yes. Thank you.
It just wasn't right.
It just wasn't right. And I think the bummer thing is I kind of knew it wasn't right because of the circumstances.
Boom.
But I let the heart lead and not the head.
Yeah.
And isn't that usually
Sometimes
the advice is to do that way? I mean, everybody says, well, what does your heart think?
Yeah.
Go with your heart.
Go with your heart. But
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh, I went with my heart all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Maybe I
think what you said there is important. That you think that you knew that it wasn't right.
Well, I think I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it was
Yeah.
going to be a damn challenge.
Yeah.
But I guess I was I am a glass half full person. I
Yeah.
really do kind of always assume things will work out. And maybe that's
Right.
why it hit so hard that this did not. This goes totally against my grain.
Yep.
Or that
All
you
right.
both couldn't make it work. You know what I mean? I feel like you could have made it work, right?
Yeah.
Or you thought you could make it work. And that,
Yep. I am thinking about New Year's resolutions. So
Okay.
maybe we can get back on that track next time.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd be nice if people that listen give us ideas. What are your ideas on making resolutions, sticking to your goals, that kind of thing?
Do you?
Hey.
Don't you?
Yeah.
And if you know a really good dating app, could you also drop that in the comments?
Okay.
There you go.
Now we go into the adventures of Amy.
Yeah. Maybe that could, instead of 3 shots, maybe I should come on and every week give you my latest snippet.
Well, I'm sure that the people you're dating will appreciate that.
Well, I got to get to a date first. I'm still culling the files, man.
Oh gosh. Okay.
What
well,
do you call the file when you throw things out in the trash? What is that called?
circular
File
file. It's
13? File.
File 13.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. All right. Bless your hearts. Thank you all. Thank you for letting me share.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yes.
So
I'm sure.
that- Mhm.
Yeah. I'm sure there's
Very important. Sorry.
listeners.
Yeah, sorry, Stacey. Very important. If you are feeling blue about something, tell somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. We're
Yes.
going to go with the thought that you're helping someone or you're, someone's out there is going to identify.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And if
Okay.
you did date the guy that's in the hospital bed, please shoot me a message and let me know that he's actually a really good guy.
And that he recovered.
There's a lid for every pot, right? Is that my
Yes.
mantra for 2024?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You can
Okay.
go with that.
All right. Thank
we-
you all.
We might want to do a little work on that one. All right. We will be back next week. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Yeah, pretty addicting conversation that we had here today. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
All right. Woo. Look. I got that wow. Who wants some hands up right now? We got that. Turn it up loud. I know you're wondering how. I got that wow. Here I go, coming. I can't ever stop. I'm a tour de force running. Get me to the top. I don't need an invitation. I'm about to start a celebration. Let me in. Brought a good time plus some friends. Turn it up loud past 10. Turning up the crowd when I hit 'em.